Okay, stop saying those things now. The recording is in process.
Oh, I missed out on the fun things.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Isaac.
Hello, how are
Hello,
you?
Isaac.
Hi, I'm doing all right. Hope everybody is.
Dr. Cynthia, great to see you. I haven't seen you in ages.
Great to see you, Dr. Moskowitz. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
If you haven't already done so, be sure that you have your first and last name and either DM or DCS after that. And Dr. Anastasia, take
That
it
would be
away.
me. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to Symposium. What a wonderful time. You're going to be exhausted by the end of tomorrow, but it's a good exhaustion. I like to start with a little, icebreaker, of course, and I kind of turn it around. What I've got here are 3 lies and 1 truth. So tell me which one you think is true. I have an amazing green thumb. Benny, my cockatoo, has a book series. I publish romance novels under the pen name Alexandra Starr. I run a nonprofit bird sanctuary for abandoned and exotic birds. You guys want to take a guess?
Item
Is it
3.
1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
3.
We have 3, we have 4, we have 1.
4.
4. This is hilarious because it's actually number 2. I do rescue exotic birds that have been abused and abandoned, but one of my birds actually has a comic book series out
Oh my
called Benny the
goodness.
Cockatoo, and up there in the corner is my real Benny, so he's my baby.
So you're writing these stories?
Yeah, well, they're based on Benny.
That
He
is so
actually is the
cute.
one that writes them.
Now, I was going to ask you, does he tell you what to write?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's that amazing.
Ah,
All right,
awesome.
everybody. So let's get down to it. And I won't take very long because I think you get a lot more out of these sessions when you're working directly with the faculty and the research supervisors. But what I want to do is I want to give you an idea about what it takes to build your actual topic for your research. And you're going to be exposed to a lot of different, phrases and wording and things that you may not understand right away. And the biggest piece of advice I can give you is if you don't understand something, ask, because we are happy to tell you how smart we are, and we can define everything for you. And I'm just joking, fellow colleagues. So you're going to contribute to the body of knowledge, right? I'm sure that you've heard that idea that when you write your dissertation, you are going to be contributing to a gap in the body of knowledge. And so I like to describe the body of knowledge as an ocean, right? This is everything that's been written, published, not published, and written in your area that you're interested in. And then you are going to do a research study, right? And you are going to add to that body of knowledge. And basically, it's going to be a drop in the body of knowledge when you write your dissertation. Does that make it any less important? Absolutely not. Your contribution to the body of knowledge is very important, even if it's only a small piece. So I want you to keep this in mind. You're not going to solve the world problems, but you are going to contribute meaningfully to a body of knowledge in your concentration and degree. And that is pretty important. So keep that in mind as you're starting to think about what you're going to research. So the first thing that I want to ask you, and I want you to think about it, and this is what we're going to talk about when we break out, is what do you want to study? And does it align with your concentration and why? So if you are doing a concentration in executive leadership, right? And your concentration, you know, is focused on all types of different leadership concepts, then you probably wouldn't want to do your study on big data. Or you probably don't want to do your study on computer programming, right? And you're separated by schools, and this is pretty obvious, but you would be surprised at how often we see students that actually try to crisscross the two. So the first thing you have to think about is, what is my program? What is my concentration? And based on my program and concentration, what do I want to research? This depends upon your interest. Second piece of advice: do not pick a topic that you're not passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, you're probably not going to have fun with it, and it's probably not going to be the greatest dissertation. So if you're just doing something for the sake of doing it to get your degree, you need to stop and rethink. Do something that you care about, something that you feel strongly about, which is all great, right? But then what we're going to tell you, now that you know your concentration and your program, and now you have an interest in what you want to research, now we're going to say to you, well, what's your positionality? How are you reflexive on this concept? And what do I mean by that? I mean that even though we want you to pick something that you're passionate about, we also want you to be able to step away from it. It's like, okay, Dr. A, what the heck are you talking about? You're telling me to do something I want to do, something I love, and now you're telling me I have to step away from something I love and something I want to do. And yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, once you pick your topic that you're passionate about, you need to be able, as a doctoral student, step away from that passion and research that topic without bias. And that is a very hard thing to do, because usually we are encouraged by something major that we've witnessed in our industry. You know, it could be discrimination, it could be poor leadership, it could be any number of things that we've seen in an industry that we really want to add to the body of knowledge and help make a change. So it's real hard to say, I'm going to research this, but I'm not going to let my biases in. This is something that you are going to do every day when you're working on your dissertation. So once you have an idea of what you want to research, and you have an idea of how you can do it without bringing in your own assumptions and biases, then what we're going to do is we're going to send you to the library. And we're going to tell you to look at what is out there in terms of literature about the topic that you want to research. And then we're going to say, okay, so you just found 500 articles that covers this exact topic. What aren't they covering in those articles? What isn't the research covering? And so where does that lead you? That leads you to a gap. It may be a very small gap in the body of knowledge, but a gap nonetheless. So you're constantly going to be going in a circle, right? You're going to take your interest, your degree, your concentration, and the area you want to research. You're going to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I will not interject my own opinions or assumptions. Then you're going to go to the library and you're going to support that this idea needs to be researched, right? And then you're going to do the circle again. It's going to go around and around and around because everything that you put in your literature review has got to support the research topic you are going to use for your study. And that leads me to one final thing, and then we'll go into breakouts. When you do this, this is what we call an iterative process. It means that what you decide today that you are going to focus on, because a lot of you are going to try to do that over the next 2 days. You're going to try to sew up your topic and kind of get an idea of what your research question is. And as soon as symposium's over, you're going to go to the library and start researching on this. And then what you're going to find is the literature takes you in another place and, oh, wow. So I have to go back and I have to rethink my topic, or I have to rethink the problem or the gap. This is what we mean by iterative. What you have today is not going to be what you have when you defend. It just never works that way. It's constantly changing. So my final piece of advice before we go into our breakouts is do not be afraid of change. Every class you take, every research class that you take, you're going to be working with professors that understand the process. And so they are not trying to make you feel bad. They are trying to push you in the right direction. Always ask questions. Never be afraid to voice your concerns. So with that said, how about we break out, and thanks everybody for taking a few minutes to listen to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget, guys, this is the chance for you to share your topic. Everyone needs to get in there and share and get help with your topic. So look forward to this time.
Okay. Oh, come on. Don't do this, please. Don't mess it up.
So are we sharing our topics right now?
We will, they're still breaking out. Once
Okay.
it'll take just a couple of minutes.
I have a question while everyone's breaking up.
Sure.
I initially signed on my phone, and it has me as my regular name in my department. But when I try to switch to my computer, I couldn't.
Okay. Yeah. And Olu's DM, if somebody could put him with a DM, this particular, right?
Yeah,
Your
I'm not.
DM.
I'm
Okay.
actually not DM. I'm DCS.
Oh,
On my
DCS.
Yeah,
Okay.
on my phone it registers me as DCS, but once I got out of my phone to transfer back to the computer, it wouldn't let me do anything with it.
Well, they'll put you, hopefully get you in the right room.
Okay, thank you.
So is everybody here that needs to be here, I'm assuming?
I'm DCS too, but I'm in this room.
Yeah, but you need, yeah, and that's why you're supposed to put DCS after your name, Larry, that we talked about in our chat. So, you
Yeah,
know,
I did.
okay, it's there. Yeah, I see it there now. So, you know, we just need to make sure we do this for each of the breakout sessions. And after that, you don't have to worry about it anymore today, but we need to do it for the breakout. So hopefully they can get you moved to a DCS room because this one's going to be DM.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I see mine corrected now. I don't know if it's just registered. Thanks.
All right, we good?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm good.
everybody.
I'm good.
Okay, so I'm Dr. A, and we've also got Dr. A. Mike and I have been working together for years. This is the first time we've gotten a chance to work together in a breakout. And so what I like to do, I just kind of like to do a round robin and give everybody an opportunity just to talk a little bit about what your interest is. And, you know, and we'll just chit chat and see if we can move you a little closer in the right direction. Does that work for you, Dr. Alexander?
Yeah, that's the way I've always do it, but it's the best thing to let you guys, you know, tell us what you're thinking about.
and maybe we can offer some suggestions to help you along with your topic, because and don't, if we tell you it's too broad, don't take offense to that, because I would be shocked if we didn't have to tell you, because most people, when they come into the program, their topic is too broad to get it done in a 3-year time frame. And that's the whole thing. You want to make sure the best dissertation is a done dissertation.
Amen. Who wants to go first? Is there anybody that doesn't want to be voluntold?
So
All
is
right,
this,
I'll be the guinea pig.
is this
Oh.
still the DCS and this DM?
Yeah, this is
This is-
DM, but we can still answer a lot of your questions if you can't get into the other room.
Okay.
We-
So how
we
do I
can-
get into the other room? Actually, just to make sure I do that before I ask.
I
Lisa,
can put you in there. What's your name?
Oluwole Afolayan. I'm actually on now.
I see.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of.
Okay, Vilmer, did you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, thank you. This is a privilege, brand new. Okay. What I'm trying to relay is I do show bias within the criminal justice system in regards to those who are incarcerated and people of color, disparities within the healthcare due to mass incarceration. And Dr. V, who has been wonderful, gave me a suggestion, and where the problem basically for me is coming up with my own, but what she gave me was healthcare disparities within criminal justice system and how it impacts race, ethnicity, and social economic status on incarcerated population. And I'm grateful
Okay.
to her for the suggestion. Right.
That's
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And before I came into higher ed, I worked in the correction system.
Great.
And I actually worked for a company that run the private prisons. So first of all, what is your concentration?
Well, believe it or not, I'm in general because of the fact that you no longer have the criminal justice
right
program. So go ahead. I'm listening. I'm
okay.
game for it.
First of all, take the criminal justice system out of it. That's too broad. The criminal justice system encompasses the law enforcement, corrections, and the courts. So don't say criminal justice. You're talking about corrections.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. And you're looking at disparity. The other thing to think about is who is going to be your target population to do your research, your participants.
Those who have been released. Because I know I cannot speak to anyone that's incarcerated.
Exactly.
So
That's what I was
right. So correct. So it would be their family members or those who have already been released, who have served at least over 5 years, that were afflicted with some type of either disease, mental health, or even the fact that they were hurt while they were incarcerated, something like that.
Okay, you got several different areas there, and you could narrow it down by picking one of those.
Okay, in this day and time, it's going to be mental health.
That's what I was hoping you would say. As long as you feel that you can get enough participants, that could be doable. So, Christina.
Well, my concern is where she'll find the participants.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
You know, we don't normally see people go into LinkedIn and put title, parolee.
Convict.
Well, to be honest, I'm an advocate, so I do have an avenue in the criminal justice system as well. I'm a CASA advocate, and I do have some connections, but I haven't talked to them, not all of them yet, but I do have some friends that are ex deputies. And also there's programs that I'm researching now where I can possibly speak to people who are willing to, their family members who are willing to talk to me.
I'll tell you
I
what.
wouldn't involve family members now,
You
because
wouldn't?
they all they know is what their incarcerated relative says. So they would be, and then they're going to throw their own opinions in there.
Okay.
You really should need to narrow, to set your population perimeters pretty tight. And if and you would, so that would be my concern, because if you want to say, okay, it's individuals, former inmates that served at least 5 years incarcerated, and that's all you did, that's fine. But can you get enough participants to do that? That would be the problem.
I want to add one more caveat to this.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is it that you want these released inmates to tell you?
The truth about
Okay.
their experiences.
So you just want to understand their experiences. But let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you present this information to after you do your research? Who would benefit from it?
I would hopefully expect for the system, the prison system, to accept it one way or another, because something is not being done. There is a gap because of some of the research I have already done. They're saying there's gaps because of the fact that they're not being able to get the exact information from the prison system itself of who is affected, and also how some family members that I do know that are having problems even trying to find out about their loved ones that are incarcerated who've been afflicted, like have had strokes and stuff.
Let me ask you that. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with mental illness that
Well,
I'm
that's
aware.
true too.
But my question is, what it sounds like you're doing is kind of an ethnographic type of study, and I just wonder why you don't focus on the other end, experts in the industry. In other words, focus on, and I don't know, Mike, you're the CJ expert, but it seems to me like I would be more interested in knowing what the experts have to say about why mental illness is growing in the prison population. Now, am I off base, Mike? I don't know.
No, you're not. I mean, it would be, when you're talking about it, talking to some of the mental health counselors. Each facility has mental health counselors. And so you can narrow it down even more in the mental health to go to, is it substance abuse you're looking at? Is it actual schizophrenia, or the different
Right.
aspects, sex offenders? They have specialized counselors for these, and directors and all that, and to be, I don't know if you're where you are in vicinity to actual correctional facilities, but if you could get permission to talk to them and get their opinions on what is missing in the system and what they would like to interject, that could be a good study.
I think
Because
that would
then,
be an excellent study.
especially if you get
Excellent. Yes, sir.
get different people, these counselors and stuff. If you can start getting and seeing a pattern, and say, and you see that there's one particular thing that keeps coming up, and when they say, well, we need to add A, B, and S and T, And then the
Mhm.
next one says it's C, D, A, B, and then the same one keeps coming up, then that would be your finding.
Mhm.
Does
Okay.
that make sense?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that that would be the route that I would go. I think it's the safest route, and quite frankly, I would be more interested in hearing what the specialists, what the counselors have experienced. I think that that would have more credence. I know that sounds bad, but I think
No,
it
it
would,
doesn't.
yeah, it would have an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All
Happy to
right.
help. Who wants to go
Who-
next?
I'll go next.
Hi, TJ.
How's it going?
Very good.
So I'm doing my dissertation hopefully on comparing and contrasting the language patterns and communications content of CEOs with computational text analysis, which is also known as text mining. So a brief kind of summary of text mining. So text mining is essentially like taking unstructured data and finding the kind of hidden patterns. So for instance, like if you took a whole Bible, you can text mine it and say, what's the most common word in the Bible? Or what's the most common word in this part of the Bible, etc. You can do sentiment analysis, which is like to measure the emotional tone of writing. So you might take one person's writing, like a student in a class, and say, oh, they're happy. You might take another person and say, oh, they're angry. And it's like statistics. It'll give you like a numerical value. It's usually like negative 100 to 100, with 0 being neutral emotional tone, and it goes like a scale like that. Some of them are very specific, like they use very specific words like inspired or, in a rage, and some of them use like general happy, sad, mad. Then you also have
Who would you be focusing on? What leaders?
CEOs of for-profit companies and CEOs of non-profit companies.
But now are you wanting to talk to these CEOs?
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't think so. Okay, all right.
You
Want
would
to make sure on that.
You would be getting like speech transcripts, statements, and like strategic like plans. Like a lot of times companies have online their strategic plans. And like there might be a CEO statement you could just copy and paste. Social media, sometimes CEOs just make long-winded posts on social media. You can take that.
And what's your concentration?
Executive leadership.
Okay.
And I was thinking about 750 each, so 750 for-profit, 750 non-profit, and that would take about 2 weeks stressfully to compile all those documents. It'll take about 2 months just smooth. I've done a project.
So what are you trying to achieve? I guess is where I think I'm lost, and I think Christina's the same way.
You would be able to compare and contrast. I really want to know, do for-profit companies, CEOs use certain type of language? Do they have certain types of sentiments as a collective because of the profit motive? Does just having kind of this profit incentive change your language patterns, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? And I also thought of breaking, like,
Yeah, but what's the problem? I haven't heard a problem yet.
You said
Because see, you have to have a topic and a problem and then a question. So what's the problem with it? I know from Vilmer's thing, the problem there is important items missing in the mental health care of incarcerated members. What's the problem with the language they use?
Well, I kind of have this idea of like, I wanted to know, does just having the money incentive change how they, like, for instance, like, I guess it could be, I could look at the kind of ethical dimensions of it. Like, do for-profit companies use happier language, or nonprofits do they use neutral language, just not having the money? Like, or like, for instance, with nonprofits, does just the kind of
like the social, the community service that they're doing, does that inspire them enough to actually change their language?
Corporate social responsibilities, what
Yeah,
you're
like,
looking at.
are you getting what I'm saying? Is this okay? Do nonprofits use similar language, like when talking about like fundraising? Like,
Yeah, but you're asking a question. We haven't. What's missing here is the resulting in what. So nonprofit leaders use language that result in what versus for-profit leaders use language that result in what. What is happening as a result of these phrases? What is it causing?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you used the word ethics a minute ago, and is there an ethical problem with the way that for-profit CEOs talk, for lack of a better word, or write, versus the language they use, or is it more ethical from the nonprofit? I mean, is there a problem with ethics, or is it just the nature of the beast?
Another problem, another caveat is that with AI, open AI, how do you know that the words that you're analyzing are actually the words of the leader and not something that he or she just threw chat GPT? You know, how do you know that those are their words? I guess is my question.
I mean, I don't think that's relevant at all. I mean, I could use an AI detector, right? But I mean, text mining is extremely popular. Like, I've never heard and I was actually shocked that I did this in college, text mining, but on a different topic. But I had no clue that so many people use text mining to study CEO communication. But I get what y'all are saying as far as like the kind of consequence. What a lot of people do is they go, does this communication increase profits, right? Or they might say, oh, did the stock of this company go up or down based on the language patterns, right? Stuff like that, like these kind of outcomes. So I guess
sounds pretty fascinating, actually.
Yeah, there was like one person who did like, did CEOs lying about the kind of financial projection affect the actual like performance of the company? Like, people do stuff like that. So I get what y'all saying about the outcome. So I gotta narrow that down. I gotta figure out how to tie that. Because now,
and you got 2 more sessions just today talking just about this very thing. So
I think it's an interesting concept. I just don't know how to frame it. I'm not seeing in my tiny little brain how to frame it.
Tons of people have these studies. Like, they're kind of fascinating. Like these CEO communication text mining. It was actually really cool to me when I started doing the research to go, wow, people really apply this to this. I just didn't think that this was that popular in the business world. I had no clue. But as far as the AI generated content, that almost sounds like a major problem for digital humanities in the future anyway. That's usually what
it's a biggie. It's a biggie.
That's interesting.
So something to think about. When we want to keep going, we don't give everybody a chance. Oh, by the way, I don't know, one of the moderators, Samantha, or one of you, we've got and I ain't even going to try to pronounce that name, brother. I appreciate you. We got a DCS student in here that's trying to get into a DCS room.
Okay, I see it. I'll put them in.
Thank you.
I've tried a couple of times. I don't know.
Okay, Cornelius, you want to go? Because I want to give everybody a chance.
Sure, I'll go, Doctor. Morning, team. So my topic, what I have in mind is challenges and opportunities for minority business owners in Thailand. So like exploring cultural, financial, and regulatory barriers. So that's my topic. Why Thailand? So I have a business in Thailand right now currently, and I'm having issues on keeping it open because of the traffic and just maintaining employees and learning that culture. And I just love Thailand. I plan on retiring there.
Okay, now, so what again is the topic? I mean, I got to Thailand for small business owners, but you're exploring what?
So challenges and opportunities, right, for minority business owners in Thailand.
Okay, challenges and opportunities. Okay.
What is
Um,
considered a minority business owner in Thailand? Can you define that for me?
So in my mind, think of minority as myself as African American. I can explore more of, anyone that's not Thai would be a minority per se.
That's what I
However,
say. I'd be a minority in Thailand.
correct. Yeah, you would. You would. So I
So,
guess
so
I can.
I would take the minority out of it, unless you're just looking at black people, or or
Yeah,
eight.
you would be better off African Americans opening businesses in Thailand if you want to,
And
you know,
that could
narrow the
and that,
scope.
that could narrow it down some.
Okay. Now, if I
Yeah.
narrow it down, I'm guess I'm looking at. Like I said, that's the issue I should have is I should narrow it down instead of making it more broad. I could do that.
Yeah.
Question: What's happening to make you want to research this? Have you witnessed something that's happened, or?
So there's a few of us that have like a community out there that own different businesses, and my business is struggling. I'm not sure if it's the location or the product that I'm producing. So I have like a lounge cafe over in one of the popular areas over there. My buddy has like a breakfast, a soulful breakfast place, culture, and his business is doing great. And I'm pretty sure it's the location that he has as well. It's in a better location than mine. So I just want to just explore that as a business owner out there.
Okay, now are you looking at any? The two examples you use are the restaurant business. Are you looking primarily for restaurant owners, or are you looking at any business? Because that could be, again, a way to narrow it down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So initially, I was just doing any kind of business because I have friends that own clubs out there on like Walking Street, the main street. There's like a main
Okay.
venue.
And that's not, I'm not saying that, I was wondering if you were really going to focus on one type of industry.
But I think if he focuses on African Americans, that narrows the scope. So he could focus on a number of different types of businesses, but what brings it together is the African American ownership.
Yeah.
And I think if you focus on that, I think it's a whole lot better than, I think you're in much better shape if you do that. But the big question is, because what you're telling us is you're saying, I'm wondering if it's location, but yet when you first spoke, you said opportunities and what was the other word?
Challenges.
Challenges.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't understand what that has to do with location. Location is basically up to you. So what challenges are you talking about?
So different challenges I've noticed, like the cultural challenge and aspect of the language barrier is another challenge. Understanding a culture as as in America, we it's basically like we hustle very hard. We work very hard. Over there's more of a laid back mindset. As a Buddhist country, it's more laid back. So I'm having issues with that because you can't be too stern with them or they will quit on you within they just drop it a dime, they will quit. But different challenges like that. Location, I say that's a challenge because of the traffic, the foot traffic that could be due to location.
Yeah, but why don't you pick one challenge?
Okay. Instead
Culture in itself, you can do a ton of research on just culture.
Yep.
And you could even get it down to the work ethic.
Yeah. There's so many directions you could take with culture. I think that's brilliant. That would be a great way to focus it. Differences in culture and what can be done to bring everyone together.
That's a good one.
Actually, I think that's a pretty good, he'd be in good shape right there, Christina.
Yeah, I do too.
That would be narrow enough. You do it with the African American, and then focusing on the challenges of the dealing with the culture of the employees.
I think it's fascinating that you're going to, and this tells me you're going to do a qualitative study, but I think it'll be really cool, especially if you can go to Taiwan, and
Thailand.
Thailand, sorry, and interview people. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I can. That was my plan. I can.
Okay.
I have a lot of I have a lot of friends over there.
Okay. All right. Hope
I
that
appreciate
helps.
it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Who's Sarah? You want to give it a shot on your iPhone? No response. Stephanie? Am I talking?
I
You
can
want
hear
to
you.
try?
Sarah,
can't get
was
it.
that you?
That was just Joelle jumping in just to
Okay,
say that your audio is.
Stephanie, or can you hear me? She's not there.
Yeah,
Tran?
sorry, I'm having
Oh.
a hard time getting the mute to turn off.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. You have the floor.
Okay. So I'm in the Doctor of Management Executive Leadership program. And I want to study individuals that are specifically diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. I currently take care of my son that's 6. He's on the spectrum, so I'm a full-time caretaker for him. So that's kind of like my passion, learning more about autism and helping him out. Um,
Well, how's that
Okay,
relate
but
to executive leadership?
yeah,
So what I could do is see what type of programs they have that are that is for acceptance and supporting people that is on the spectrum. So making sure that they are accommodated in the workplace and like their culture. If they are someone that prouds themselves as a company for being diverse. And I think last time I've seen it, it was 1 in 36 children that are diagnosed. And
I think you're going to need to do a lot of narrowing. And I'm very compassionate about what you're going through. I can't even imagine I can't even imagine. But your concentration is executive leadership, and that's what you need to focus on. You could look at talking to to C-suite people in healthcare organizations that work with children with autism. I don't know. But right now, it's just very, very vague. Mike?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's in the executive leadership, you're going to have to tie something to the leaders. Now, I mean, if you're looking to look at industry leaders that employ, individuals that are afflicted by this disease or whatever you call it, impairment, I guess would be a better word, which I'm very familiar with it. We have relative and some friends that have children that were inflicted or are inflicted. And, obviously getting employment for them is, once they become adults, is quite the challenge.
And that's the problem I kind of wanted to focus on and kind of link it to, because it says like about 21% of people with disabilities are employed. And it's like, wow, what kind of practices do we have in businesses that,
Well,
do
okay,
employ?
now you're getting into something, because if you can talk to enough of leaders, industry leaders that employ these individuals, such individuals, and then get their best practices.
Yes.
What experience have they had, with these employees? And that could end up turning into a pretty decent topic. I mean, you got to have to refine it more, but that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
That sound reasonable, Christina?
Yeah, I would go to the library, and you might want to shoot Jenna Obi or one of her team members an email saying, I'm looking to find articles on companies that embrace employees with disabilities such as autism. They will help you determine the phrases you need to use to find who these companies are. And
Okay.
and then I like this idea. I like the idea of understanding leadership and their position on embracing disabilities and bringing them into the workplace. This could then turn into a very interesting presentation after all is said and done that you could present to leaders in many different industries.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. And look in the chat box. Joelle just posted. Jenna's no longer at the library.
Oh, where's
Uh,
Jenna now? Oh, sorry.
She got
We'll talk-
promoted, I
Oh,
Yeah,
think.
Jenna's promoted. She's in a different direct role. I actually am the new library director, so I'm looking
She,
forward to working with you all.
yeah, and
Joelle, you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, congratulations. So send your email to Joelle.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
email
she
me. I'll
in
take
the
care of you.
chat. If you look in the chat room, she put in how to contact.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of. Absolutely.
Okay, Steph. Okay, Sarah, did we ever get you? I don't think she can connect. Okay, how about Tran?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm struggling in selecting the topic and narrow it down.
Well,
But
that's what we're here for.
yeah, but I know my interest in so I'm working fintech company, Pfizer, and I'm really want to find the opportunity to grow in fintech industry. Um, so I'm looking for the opportunity and um like try to be expert at um my position and grow within the company and industry there. But I so during the research I found that fintech not really in any um academic program um for since undergrad and grad school. So I was thinking that suggesting having some fintech course. Um,
Okay, but what is you're in a DM, so what's your concentration?
my concentration is organizational change and development.
Okay. Oh, ODC. Okay. Hmm.
I think, let me throw something out there. I think it might be interesting. You said that there were some programs out there that offer fintech, correct?
No, there's none.
Oh, you sure there's none? You know, there's absolutely none.
So in some large states like California or um I think Florida during the research, I saw they have some fintech courses in the college, but not in other state.
So what you're saying that there's not a degree in this.
It's not
Is
even offered in the
yeah, it's not a degree offered in Syntech.
yeah, right.
But now what you're looking to do is to promote in this industry, right?
To bring the awareness and
Yeah.
there's some
Of
certain
how
knowledge
to well, I mean, there's been people that have been promoted up, obviously. You have leaders.
right.
And there's more than one Syntech company, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So how did they move up the ladder? What opportunities I mean, you could look for something like opportunities for growth in the Syntech industry. It's just right off top. What do you think, Christina?
Well, I think that Tran, I think that you need to think in terms of and I thought it was fintech. Is it syntech? What is it? Is it FIN or SIN?
FIN,
FIN?
financial technology, yeah.
Okay. So what I would do, I don't know that you're going to have a topic by the time you leave here today, but I would get into the library and I would look for articles that focus on, pardon me, companies that embrace fintech, right? You find out who those companies are and why they do so. And then you could possibly do a research study on those leaders or those companies that embrace this, that you could present to your industry saying, you know, I got this information and you know, they said this and this and this and this, and this really supports the idea of fintech in this organization or in this industry. So you find the people that are using it, you find out why they're using it, and you incorporate that into a study as to, or maybe not a study, but future research. But I think that you need to understand who's using it, why they're using it, before you can really determine why Pfizer or companies like that are not using it. Am I making any sense?
She's just gonna have to do a lot, you know, a lot of thinking and keep asking questions and listening in your other breakout sessions, because maybe they can give you some ideas also.
Yeah, ask why. Why is it that fintech is needed? Ask yourself why. And then maybe that will help you approach your literature to find out what's going on with it and why certain industries are not embracing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right, real quickly here, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. The
I believe it's
OLU.
Alamuia. Is that it? I apologize if I slaughtered that.
Are you there? The student that the name starts with OLU. Still no go. Did we ever get Sarah? Sarah, did you ever able to connect? Hearing none, we'll got a DCS student to pop back in.
And then
Is
moved
there
over.
any, okay, is there anyone that's got anything they want to bring up? We got a few more minutes.
Yeah, questions, concerns. I mean, it doesn't have to be on your topic. It's just whatever you want to talk about.
What we end at what, 10:30? Is that right, Joelle?
11:30.
I mean, well,
11:30. Yeah. 10:30 Mountain Time, 11:30
Central. I'm
Central
sorry,
Time.
I'm
Yep.
on Mountain.
It's okay. All the math, keeping track of the time zones.
Yeah. Anybody brought any questions or anything popped in your mind since we talked with you? Oh, and don't worry about it. If you're having problems connecting, that happens. Just keep working at it.
I have a question.
Okay.
How much of your dissertation can be like charts, graphs, just kind of this raw data versus like actually interpreting that data, for instance?
Well, I mean, when you say charts and graphs, are you talking ones that you have completed based on your research, or is it something demonstrating a previous research? Because that would depend on what chapter it went in.
Like for instance, with text mining, I could probably have, with this kind of study, probably hundreds of pages of just results, right?
Yeah, well, that's your data. I mean, you want to condense that down to.
Yeah, I don't think that's like normally people don't just put all that in a.
No. Just a rule of thumb, and this varies. So don't go out and say, "Hey, Dr. Alexander said I cannot have any more pages than this." But rule of thumb is that your chapter 2 is your longest one, and approximately about 30 pages. And every other chapter is about half that. You know, and of course it can vary, but you know, that's why that we always ask you to start your chapter 2 first. You do your chapter 2 first, and it is the longest chapter, right? Agree, Christina?
Yes.
Yeah, and then because your chapter 4 was where you present your findings, shouldn't be more than about 15 pages.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say alum because I can't pronounce your name, but you're saying that you want to explore the effects of leadership on employee engagement in virtual working environments. And the issue is the relationship between leadership behaviors and people's engagement, information sharing, and performance within a teleworking context. With many organizations adopting remote or hybrid working, there are now concerns about how to engage. I love this topic. I love this topic. I think that there is so much room for this right now. You've narrowed it to the telemarket or the communications context. You've narrowed it to engagement with remote workers. You have all of the elements. You have the foundation of a very interesting study. And I mean, obviously, you're going to have to do a literature review to be able to support this. But I mean, as far as topic, I think you're spot on. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I really like it. It's very applicable, obviously. You know, 2020, let's face it, 2020 had a huge effect on the way we live today, and especially in how industry is today. Okay, time's up. All right, bye.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in another session.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hello. I'm not sure where I am.
In the right place.
Hello. Are we back in the right place?
I think we
I
are.
don't know.
We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up this session. So thank you.
Okay.
Y'all are welcome to go to the next session on the list.
Okay, perfect. And how do I do that?
Those that were just with me, mid-sentence, we left.
I'm not sure what happened there. We still have 20
They
minutes.
did cut it short, Brent. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it was
we
on,
had
until 11:14. I was on room 9 and they all of a sudden switched to
Yeah, it
this,
seems when the
Thank
time is
you.
up, is
We
we're
got,
back all together.
yeah, something happened there because we still had 12 more minutes left
12
in
more
that
minutes.
session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how much time we
That's
needed.
what I thought. There was
Yeah,
it was
I
supposed
was
to run
I was
until
watching.
12:40.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Okay, it wasn't
sorry
just
about that.
me. Thank
Don't,
goodness.
yeah, we're all here together now. What can we help you with? If you didn't get a chance to get that one-on-one, if you will just send me an email, I have all of y'all in my class, and I can put you in touch with someone who can help you with that. But yeah, I don't know what happened there as far as cutting us off, but I didn't
Computers
do
are
it.
great. Computers are great when they work.
Yes.
Lisa, I suggested that the students who didn't get that to talk first, and the next session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
At least they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Let's
idea.
Nora, I
Yeah.
said the same thing. Wow.
I wonder if it's if it was
Why
like a
am I
Zoom.
surprised?
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a Zoom limitation. Because I know like certain like there's like different Zoom levels, I guess, that you can get, and I think some of them kind of cut you off after a certain point. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, start your break, guys, a little bit early. Those of you who did not get a chance to share, when we get into our next session right after lunch, then be sure to let your faculty know, and let's get you in first, because the problem is going to go along with your topic anyway, right? So we'll get you guys in first. So go enjoy a little bit of an earlier break. At lunch, for those of you who want to join us, we're going to be playing Kahoot for prizes, and we would love to have you join us if you would like. So we will see you guys in a little bit, and thank you again. Yeah, lunch. Well, let's look at that. Lunch is, I believe it's over. Where's my schedule here? Lunch is over at, I believe it's 12:30. 11, it's supposed to be 11:45 to 12:30, and 11:45 we will meet in there. So, all right.
Are we talking Mountain Time or Central Time?
Central Time.
Thank you.
Dr. V,
Thank
for
you,
those of
everyone.
us, for those of
Yes.
us that have never used Kahoot, is there any special things that we need to know to?
They sent an email. You might want to check your emails. Was it
Okay.
from yesterday? And they'll also help you once you get into the
The
lunch.
session itself?
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
All right, thank you.
all right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.